The Leica M3. Let's talk about it. Let's just get to the facts. Hipsters got it wrong. The Leica M6 is definitely not the best film photography camera that exists. The Leica M3 it's super simple to use. In 2006, it was voted as the best gadget of all time by Stuff Magazine and ebay.co.uk because we care so much about the opinions they have over there. I don't know what Stuff Magazine is, and I don't know why when I did a Google search result on who voted this camera the best gadget of the year, ebay.co.uk, like not where I go to think about cameras and stuff. Between the Leica M6 and the Leica M3, the Leica M3 is fully mechanical. There's no batteries in it, and it's just a cool device in that sense, and that is why I think it's way cooler than the Leica M6. In addition, for whatever reason, maybe it's a placebo effect in my brain, I just think the black and white images that come out of this camera are the best of like all film cameras that exist on the market. And that's where I think the Leica M3 excels beyond whatever else is out there. Black and white imagery out of the Leica M3 is where I would place it as like an S tier camera. You can shoot color photography with it, obviously, but the black and white is where I feel it excels the most. And also black and white film photography is one of the places where I do feel film photography still holds an edge to digital photography. For whatever reason, I do not think that digital photography or digital photographs look as good or look cooler than black and white film. Black and white film, at least for now, you know, and it's been this way in my mind for like the last 20 years, is better than black and white digital photography, and probably always will be. Personal subjective opinion, but like black and white film photography, I have yet to see a digital camera that can match it. It just stands out, and I do think that the Leica M3 is the best at delivering black and white film photographs. Obviously, whatever film stock you use is going to play into that. Whatever lens you use is going to play into that. How you go about developing it is going to play into that a little bit. I develop my own film, and what I've come to the realization is I f***ing hate the process of developing film. And I always, not always, but sometimes I screw up the roll, and that's a wash. Wasted time, wasted money, lost photographs, and that's really frustrating. So film photography is one of those things, like I love the idea so much. Absolutely love the idea. In practicality, I hate the process. In terms of the price in the market currently, you're looking at like $1,000 to $1,500 for a body in great to excellent condition. You can get one that's really beat up for substantially less than that. But if it's recently been CLA'd, if it's in good condition, if it's been rewrapped, $1,000 to $1,500 is pretty standard. And that's assuming you're not looking for one with a collectible serial number. Certain things were implemented with the camera at different years, making certain serial numbers more collectible than others. And some serial numbers are just basic and not sought after. Not that there's anything wrong with them, they're just not like as collectible per se. I don't think it matters because the camera's gonna function the same. And if you want a Leica M3 and you want it specifically to shoot photography versus displaying it or have it as a conversation piece, then there's no reason to get something and pay a premium for collectability. That being said, there's like one that's black, made of brass, and it's one of the original ones. It costs like $40,000. It's crazy. It's too much money. I think I paid about $1,350 for the camera, and then with the lens I have on it now, it's probably upwards of $2,000 total. All right, know if you're watching this video in the first few days it's been out. There's a link in the description down below to this camera and lens setup. It's to an eBay auction I have, And if you're thinking about buying this, I have it listed for $1,750, and you might say, oh my gosh, but that's for the body and a $600 lens that's attached to it. It's a 35mm lens. This camera specifically does excel with 50mm lenses, whatever. But hear me out. You can message me, just type YouTube and make an offer for $1,400, and I'll sell you this camera, this lens. It has a Leica box, and I'll throw in some rolls of film as well. So $1,400, you're basically getting $1,800 to $1,900 worth of stuff. But yeah, if you come across this video down the road, that's not going to be a reality. Anyways, I'd love to know what you think like the best film photography cameras are, specifically for black and white photography. And if you think the Leica M6 or the Leica M3, or which Leica film camera do you like the best? But overall, if you want to talk film photography, if you want to talk film cameras in the comments that stand out, it does not have to be a Leica. I know it's controversial, but I do feel that Leicas feel the best in hand out of any other camera. But I also specifically like rangefinders, which are not for everybody. Shooting with a rangefinder is an acquired taste. You will either love it or hate it. There's not really a neutral ground, but it is completely different than shooting with an SLR or shooting with a non-rangefinder based camera. But if you are drawn to film, if you want to shoot film, if you want to shoot film and you want to have something that truly feels special when shooting film, I could not recommend the Leica M3 more. I do think it is the best film camera you can buy. Expensive, absolutely. You can shoot film and get a phenomenal film camera for like $150. You don't need to spend $1,500 on a film camera or more. You know, the M6s, the M7s, those are $3,000-$4,000. Some of the Hasselblads, it's wild. Shit's spicy nowadays. I've got a zine on the way, and I'm dropping my first book this year, which is gonna be really fun. And I've literally worked on it for 10 years. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're going through the editing process now, which is a pain in the buttocks, but basically encompasses the last 10 years of my street photography and my whole thing with cameras, right? And street photography. It's like, where can a camera take me and who can I meet? So while I focus on cameras and lenses and the places you can go and certain technical aspects, I can't speak today. I had a sinus infection. I'm on medication, so I'm mumbling and jumbling my words all over the place. My whole thing with cameras and why I think cameras and street photography and these things are so cool is you can go so many places and meet so many people within society and open up so many doors and so many opportunities. Literally every opportunity I've had in life stems back to a camera and video editing and shooting photography. So to me, it's like these, beyond being creative tools, are ultimately keys to the world to get you to meet people and open doors and go different places. And that is the coolest thing in the world to me. You know, I'm not much of a homebody, even though you are invited into my studio hopefully more frequently. I've been out of it for the last month due to like what I thought was just a cold. It was a sinus infection that turned into a severe sinus infection. Should have saw a doctor. But yeah, so I've been out of it the last month and getting back into it now. But yeah, if you get a sinus infection, don't ignore it because it can paralyze half your face and you can develop a severe pain that might keep you awake for 4.5 days, literally, while you go to see a doctor. And yes, you do hallucinate after that amount of time of being awake, which is not that fun. It's definitely not my preferred way to hallucinate. Just don't do it. It's not worth it at all. Anyways, I'm Renton Vlogs, aka the Super Mediocre. This has been a quick check-in with the Leica M3. I'm gonna start posting more now that I'm past this health issue. How was everybody else's January? Mine sucked. But yeah, talk to you soon. I'm Renton Vlogs, aka the Super Mediocre. Peace.